My name is Carol, and I am a survivor of sexual assault and domestic violence. I am an advocate and also an author. Um, because of my abuse, I studied psychology for a little bit and kind of decided I wanted to go on a different career path. I published part of my survival story in a book with an organization based out of Pittsburgh called Voices of Hope, and plan on publishing my full story. But right now I just use my writing as a medium. And so I'll be reading a couple poems from one of the published books I wrote that helped me with my healing. So the first one is called Savage, and here it goes. Savage, that is what they wanted me to be, not a warrior who thrives or repaired at my broken seams. Yet here I am, smiling brightly at the liar, risen from the ashes through the ring of fire. It's called Two Steps Forward and One Step Back. Stuck, unable to move on, the darkness plagued with no end in sight, the crushing weight of depression, the uncertainty brought by anxiety, it all seemed to be too much. But pressing on was the only option, giving up was not. The melodies of the music playing brought comfort and solace on those dark and lonely days. Painting brought tranquility, and penning words brought healing. Words become weapons, an arsenal against the monsters that kept pulling and tugging, unwilling to let go. Being stuck is normal, but it is not a forever thing. The next one is called Barren and Bleeding. Her trust violated, she detested opening up herself. Her scars evident, she bared her worst to him. She blinked and saw him bearing his, together no longer alone, fingers intertwined. He pulled her in close and placed her ear against his chest. She felt his heart beat wildly, and when she pulled away, she smiled, seeing his eyes light up like fireworks at the equal vulnerability, taking her breath away. Trauma. This one's called Trauma. It could have destroyed her forever, yet it was only temporary, for she learned to love herself, to vibe with others who leveled with her energy. She chose kindness when she should be mad. She chose love when she should be sad. Every day she grew stronger. There was nothing she couldn't do. She became a fortress, indestructible, when all they wanted to do was come and break her. Checkmate. This one's called The Narcissist. He took her trust and broke it like a precious bone. It snapped. He took her love and took advantage of her, never caring that he hurt her. He's a monster, and he always will be, for people like him never change. They go on after discarding their prey to find the next person to destroy. They will use continuously and laugh maniacally and never cease to stop their work until the day someone brave enough puts them in their place and the wrath of destruction stops. This one's called Leaving Him. With trembling hands, she walks away. She must, as if her ribs were cracked, protruding from her small frame. The pain immeasurable as she felt the flames dance at her feet. She rose from the ashes, exuding new confidence. The game had finally changed. This one's called Queen. Her worth wasn't measured by their inability to see her value, but perhaps in her gentle nature, her empathy, her warm energy that's indestructible, the light that's in her green eyes, and in the way she loves so much as if someone would reciprocate it. For the mirror doesn't know the depth of her emotions, therefore her mind must conclude that she is amazing despite all the flaws and scars. For she still moves and smiles, loving as if she had never been broken. This queen, she is worthy. She will help you hold your crown. This one's called She Persisted. Oh, actually, I don't want to read that one. I'll do old news. The repetitions of the same old habits, the same old behaviors, was too much for her to bear. She detested him as if he were scum at the bottom of her shoe. Instead of love, where love should be present, there was only malice, only hate. His complacent grin vanished as quickly as her tolerance for his antics. He was the detriment, she was the freedom. His rage had amped to the maximum, but she wouldn't put up with it. She felt empowered, no longer scared of him, for he soon would only be just a memory. And I think the last one I'm going to read is called Proud. I had come from nothing, pushed my way out of this darkness. I found a way out, though at the time I didn't know how I would. And I overcame the things built to destroy me. I didn't allow myself to have excuses. If anything, this trauma gave me a gift, the motivation to keep pushing and keep pursuing my goals. I fell down many times, but though I was cut, bruised, burned, I got back up when I should have let things break me. I rose, I flew, I grew, and it hurt. I lost and loved, and I ventured on. I handled my emotions instead of tucking them inside, and I didn't just survive, I thrived. And those are all the ones I wanted to read.
Can I ask you a question? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But about the other character in that poem where you find sort of another empathetic person, you know, their heart and all that wonderful stuff.
Yes.
Is that an actual person? Is that yourself? Is that what is that?
That would be the partner that I have now in my life. He is somebody that has really understood different aspects of what it has been like to go through kind of like this kind of abuse. I mean, like, for example, like, I didn't know that, like, me being in the dark, like sleeping in the dark would be traumatic for me. And through therapy, like, I found out that like being in the dark was so hard for me because all of my abuse happened in the dark. And so like my partner just helped me come to that realization, and he like would turn on the light and leave the light on at night. Like he just understood, like it was just being able to connect with somebody that didn't feel that my past trauma was a burden. And so that's kind of why I wrote that one.
It was wonderful, magnificent to hear, because I know of one other couple who are both survivors, and it's just like that kind of thing. Like, we get it. The person you're next to or with gets it, you know? And again, getting the thing about the dark, I have had the fear of darkness for many years, and it gets worse at times. My wife, who's not a survivor, has put night lights all around the house.
Yep.
She is awesome.